Marbella with Him and Her are proud to be sponsored by the friendliest bar in San Pedro, the Hogan Stand. The place for amazing food, live music and sport, karaoke, quizzes, and a welcoming smile. Why would you want to go anywhere else? Check out their Instagram page at the Hogan Stand and at the Hogan Hackers for their Golf Society.
This podcast may contain adult themes and strong language. Hello and welcome to Marbella with Him and Her, brought to you by the Hogan Stand. He is
PJ Lopez and she is
Hannah Murray. Sounds back.
Yes, it's been a while. Oh, it seems like it's been a while. It's actually only been about 4 days, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've had a lot of rain this week. And I noticed, immediately, less than 24 hours of quite heavy rain, in fairness, loads of the potholes were back on the N340.
Do you think they sort of used dissolvable material?
Definitely. It clearly wasn't a massive, professional, expensive job.
They just fill it in with a bit of
silly
sand
putty
or something.
Exactly.
But that'll do. They won't notice.
Yeah. Last Sunday, Dad and Sheila came over for lunch for Easter Sunday, which was really nice. You made apple sauce for the first time.
I did, and I was surprised at how easy it was, actually.
And it was delicious.
Yeah, just 2 apples I got. I peeled them, chopped the apples into small bits. Then it says, use this, tiny amount of water. And I thought, that's not going to work. That's going to, burn the apple, surely. But it doesn't. Loads of juice comes out of the apples. So you just literally cook the apples with sugar for 20 minutes or something until they will go really soft. And then whiz it up in a blender or something. And that is it. That's your apple sauce.
Nice.
I made some nice pork.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. And you made some corn ribs.
Yes, I did. And you told me to cut them in half again, and then they were more rib-like.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you had them much too chunky first.
Although I will say, when I made them, your comment was, yeah, they're not like Amy's, are they?
Well, they weren't like Amy's. They were very nice.
I tell you what, you have your corn ribs at Amy's, okay?
No, but Amy's are quite dry, which you'd think sounds like a bad thing, but they're not. They're full of flavour, and yours were quite
not
wet.
Full of flavour?
No, they were, but not...
That's fine. It's
God.
fine. You have your ribs elsewhere.
Oh, stop it. Don't be mean. We had a lovely Easter egg from Dad and Sheila. It was a Yorkie one, and they'd stuck things over it. So it said Ladies' Day York Races because of the Ladies' Day we're doing, which is set in York.
It is.
Easter Sunday is a funny day. I managed to get through the day without being upset, interestingly, because it was Easter Sunday that Mum died. But obviously the date changes each year, so it wasn't actually the date, which is coming up on Friday, the 17th of April, will be 4 years.
Wow, where have those 4 years gone?
It's unbelievable, isn't it? I really can't believe it's been 4 years.
Can't believe we've been 4 years without your mum here. I mean, that's nuts.
It is crazy. I still have a bar of chocolate in the fridge that she gave us a couple of weeks before Easter. Do you remember the significance of it? She gave us an Easter egg and a bar of chocolate.
On Mother's Day.
It was on Mother's Day, wasn't it? It was weeks before Easter.
That's strange, isn't it? It's almost like she had an inkling that she wouldn't be here at Easter for something, very strange.
Yeah, and I've still got that bar of chocolate untouched.
You say that. Every time I open the fridge, it tries to jump out. I mean, it's literally alive now.
No, it's not. It was a dark chocolate. It's a vegan dark chocolate.
I just know one day...
Probably lasts forever.
One day we're going to have visitors and they're going to go into the fridge and oh, there's a bit of chocolate there. And they're going to eat this chocolate that's about 15 years old.
Oh, no. I hope not. I can't bear to get rid of it. We've been enjoying I'm a Celebrity that's started last week, and so has Poppy. There's a photograph we got of Poppy that's just
she likes a bit of Ant and Dec.
She likes Ant and Dec, yeah. She loves it.
Yeah, or it might be, what's his name? Who's the Throuple guy?
Oh, David Haye.
Do you think it's him in the shower that she likes?
I mean, who doesn't like him in the shower?
Oh, easy, girl.
Gemma Collins is a character, isn't she?
Yeah, I've never been a big fan of Gemma Collins. And literally, this has nothing to do with, size or anything, because I don't care how big people are. I don't care what they look like. I don't care what the colour is. Nothing like that phases me. She just hasn't got a nice character to me. I don't find her easy to watch.
No, she seems a bit entitled.
Yeah,
And you
she
have
does.
a story of when she came here.
Well, yes. So when they used to come over here filming the Towies, they used to come over every year and do the filming of like Towie go on holiday type of stuff. And it was always done in Marbella before they then moved on to Dubai, which a lot of people did. But while she was here, she went to Hemingway's in Portobello's and she had lots to drink. And then when they brought the bill to her, she said, do you know who I am? And the Spanish waiter sort of like looked her up and down and said, not a clue. This is your bill.
Yeah.
And she just expected to get stuff for free.
Isn't that disgusting?
But despite, even if they did know her, who does that? It's different if Hemingways came out to her and said, oh my God, we're so pleased to have you here. Would you mind if we take a couple of photos? And listen, all the drinks are on us.
Yeah.
You don't ask for it.
No, or expect it. It wasn't even asking for it. It was, what are you giving me a bill for?
And I just think she thinks she's a bit bigger in life than she is. You know, there's one scene where she's talking to Sunita and she tried out for Chicago. What part was it?
Mama Morton.
Mama Morton, which is a very big part.
Oh, yeah.
And Sunita said, oh, I thought it was a joke.
And she was really offended.
Got very
by
offended.
that.
I auditioned.
Why would it be
that.
a joke?
Yeah, I auditioned. I'm good.
Yeah, that was slightly awkward.
I think if she went to the West End and auditioned for that,
No, this was West End.
why would she get the part?
Because maybe she can sing and dance, I guess.
Really?
I don't know. Well, it's not a big dancing role, actually, is it? It's not. It's just singing. So she must be able to sing to have got that part.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, that was the whole point of the discussion.
Gemma Collins sing anything.
No, me neither. But I mean, that was the whole thing why she was offended. She's like, well, I had to audition and I got the part fair and square. So. And
then didn't do it because she was ill.
Yeah. Who knows? You had a weird experience this week. You Googled yourself. I mean, who does that? Gemma.
The PJ does.
Yeah.
I was just interested because sometimes I do it to see where our podcast is ranking and how many times it comes up and all that sort of thing. So by doing that, PJ Lopez Marbella, it's what we use in the podcast titles and stuff so you can see where it's coming up. And then, you know, at the bottom when you Google something, it says people also asked, and it gives you alternative things that people ask related to the one that you've just typed in, the search you just typed in. So one of them said, who is PJ Lopez Marbella married to? So I'm wondering if people thought I was single and were like trying to like find out so they could come and like approach me and stuff. And the other one was PJ Lopez Marbella age. And I think people think that I'm a lot younger than I actually am. So they think I'm a young guy that they want to marry. That's what they're looking up. That's what I get from that.
Okay, great. How does that make you feel?
Good. So I'm only 22 and I'm single.
Both of that is shit.
Moving on.
Talking of online and successes, we've had a huge influx of followers to the San Pedro Guide this week due to you sharing a poster about an upcoming dance festival.
Yeah, I mean, I came across it by chance on Facebook, as you do, and I thought, oh, that'd be interesting for the San Pedro Guide because it's being held at the feria ground for San Pedro.
On the 21st of May.
Which is a Thursday, believe it or not. It's a strange night to have some big festival, but anyway, it's a guy called Hugel, who I've never heard of before. So I looked him up. It says on his profile that he's a DJ that does Afro-Latin beats. And I thought, sounds interesting. But I've heard some of his stuff now when he's DJing, and it's not just Afro-Latin, it's like some house music, but it's really good. It's not deep house, it's not techno, so it's not that heavy stuff. He's from Marseille. But he seems to have quite a big following because I put the post up and it's now had how many?
70,000 views.
70,000 views. And on Facebook...
And it's not even a video, that's just a poster.
No, just a poster. And on Facebook, I think we got about 28 new likes just off to the back of it.
Amazing. And a load of new followers on Instagram.
Yeah, so yeah, he seems quite a big deal.
Yeah, nice one.
So I'm not coming to the quiz, I'm going to see Hugel.
Fair enough. I had some interesting people on my show this week. Gill Whitty Collins, whose new book is called How to Win at Work. And Gill has had an amazing career, went up and up and up the ranks until she was running a company. And she said that until she was right up the top, she never had an issue with men at work and how she was treated. But then the further up the top she got to, the less women that were up there, and the more she noticed the atmosphere changing. And the statistics that she gives in her book is really incredible. I mean, we know before, I've done quiz questions about it, how few CEOs are women, particularly with big companies. Most of the corporate people at the top, the CEOs of massive companies, are men. And she said when and if a woman does get to the top, they're not kind of treated the same a lot of the time. Not all the time, obviously, but she had some, really quite shocking stories, not just her experiences, but other women's experiences. And it's not just being treated by men. Also, sometimes women treat women differently. But there's this whole sisterhood that we talk about. Women should be supporting each other. But it's something we don't really realise. Men are brought up to pat each other on the back and encourage each other, whereas women are brought up to sort of, and this isn't down to parents, this is a societal thing, are brought up to compete with each other. And she said she saw it so often that men would be helping younger men come up through the ranks, but women wouldn't help younger women come up through the ranks. They'd feel like if there was another woman at the top with them, it would be competition, which is really weird.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting concept. And I agree, everybody should get jobs based on how good they are and their ability to do that job. I think also it's not helping when you get these sort of government departments or big institutions where they say, OK, let's look at the numbers of people we've got. Oh, we're missing a woman at a high position. I know, let's give blah, blah the job. And they're just balancing. They're trying to sort of level up.
That either.
And that is the wrong way of doing it. And that's actually the opposite. And it's not helping because it's not allowing women to come up based on their talent, really. And I think if you look back as well, relatively in terms of time, when you look at the suffragette movement and getting the vote and all that, it's not a big piece of time. It's actually quite recent that women have been allowed to do a lot of things that men were able to do. And I think society is still trying to balance itself out. And I think that is the issue. And I'm pleased that there's a lot of empowering women groups and things like that, because I think it should be a very balanced situation now, because let's face it, sometimes, let's take the Iran war as a good example, sometimes maybe you need that female balance there when the guys are going, that my dick's bigger than his dick, so let's bomb that place, and maybe you need someone to balance it out who's got a different perspective, because they're not like that generally, and they can bring a different perspective to things.
Definitely.
So I'm all for it.
It's a fascinating subject. And I also had an amazing woman called Helen Thorn on, who is one half of Scummy Mummies, these two women who do stand-up. They have a really successful podcast and have done for many, many years before many other podcasts that I have found and listened to. They're one of the originals. And they're both single mums, and they talk about their experience of having kids and all the shit that comes with it. They started when their kids were toddlers and now they're teenagers, so that shows how long they've been doing it. And Helen has written a book called How to Face Big Change and Come Back Stronger. And her last book that she wrote when she got divorced and was trying to cope with that, and she was smoking a lot and drinking and relying on unhealthy crutches, if you like, to get through that. And then she started running. And it's another one of those amazing success stories. She's now a marathon runner. Also, her mum died similar time, I think, to my mum. I'm sure she said about 4 years ago, and we sort of had that in common. And that's the premise of this book, the fact that we all go through crap, things happen to us, whether it's financial, health-wise, grief, relationship-wise, all that kind of thing. And it's how you deal with it. It's how you come through it. And yeah, it's a really inspirational book. I've seen loads of celebrities saying, this is amazing. A lot of women can relate to her because she uses a lot of humour in how she talks about things, which really helps, I think, people relate to shit going on.
Yeah, I think humour is a great way to express things that are happening in your life in a different way, and it helps people understand it a little bit more because there is that humour, so it's a little bit easier to listen to. So if you had someone sitting down there in a very serious situation and explaining all these things that are happening, it can be quite a hard listen. Whereas if you explain the same things with a bit of humour thrown in, so you're not actually taking the mickey out of what's happened and you're not lowering what it means, but you're just bringing humour in, it can be a lot easier to listen to and a lot more relatable.
Definitely. So yeah, love her. She was great. And I also really enjoyed chatting to Dallas Campbell, who's a TV presenter. He's done a lot of science and space related shows. So we spoke a lot about Artemis II. The astronauts were still up there when we had our chat. His new book is called Space Journal, and he was talking about the different things in art and music and things like that have been related to space. It was really interesting, popular culture relating to space. And he was a presenter on the Gadget Show many years ago. And I said to him, I miss the Gadget Show. I used to love the Gadget Show. And I said, it's weird that it's not still going anymore. I Googled it and they stopped it in 2023. And you'd think there's more and more gadgets now. So
yeah, and it's moved on. I think it could have progressed quite well into the sort of world of AI and everything.
Exactly. It'll be so interesting. We should start a petition to bring back the Gadget Show.
We know a gadget girl.
Exactly. We do, Nikki. At the quiz on Thursday, I had a pork burger for the first time. I just thought I'd mention it because I always say I'm not a burger person. I never have burgers. And then obviously we went to the burger festival and had half a burger.
Are you converted?
Well, not converted necessarily, but I really enjoyed their pork burger. It was all, it's what do they call pulled pork?
It wasn't
so it's not a proper burger. No, it's pulled pork, but really, really nice. Love it.
Good. I'm glad you're on board. So McDonald's next week then?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
I did 2 Pilates classes last week.
You mad cow.
Oh my goodness. So on Friday, we decided to check out the full body class because we normally do the Monday class, which focuses more.
I went to a massage and tried that. Full body massage.
You better not. When it says full body, it doesn't actually mean full body. You do realise that.
Okay.
There are certain bits that they thankfully leave out.
Or for an extra €50, they don't.
Stop. In the full body Pilates class, it also isn't exactly full body, I'll be honest, but it was really hard. Amy and I were like dying through it. But then afterwards, within 5 minutes of standing outside, we were like, should we do it again? It's really weird, isn't it? How it has that effect.
What was weird was how high you were when you came back out of it. It was like somebody had slipped you something in a drink.
I know. We'll approach Hannah's hormones shortly. So yes, really loved the full body class at Studio 34. So we're going to do that again, definitely. Dad and I had brunch at Kukento because Amber Shoe is shut.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And bless them because they are closed and because they have a dodgy pipe, apparently. It was a very long story, but there was something that happened and they reported it and then somebody reported them. So it's all gone a little bit wrong for them. And then the Huntermans came in, did an inspection and said, oh, you can't have that there. And they've closed them down until they fix it.
Gutted.
Having been opened and probably had an inspection to open. So it's all a bit crap, to be honest.
Yeah, really annoying. So I hope they're back open soon. But Dad and I enjoyed a lovely breakfast at Kukento. We went through my lines as well. And I'm almost done Act 1. Yes,
well, we did lines with you yesterday. And you were pretty much through Act 1.
Wow, really pleased. So yes, this is a new feature on the podcast, Hannah's Hormones.
Yes, so this is probably going to be the longest feature of the podcast. It's one that I'm not allowed to comment on. I'm going to sit on my hands and close my mouth.
You were the one that said I should talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was the weirdest 24 hours, wasn't it?
It tired me out.
It tired me out. So it started on Thursday after the quiz. We were standing there saying goodbye to people and I suddenly realised I was sweating, like I was wiping sweat off my forehead. And we were in the middle of a conversation and I just went, sorry, I need to go outside. I'll meet you outside. I was just suddenly really hot and needed to be outside immediately. So obviously I realised that was hormones. And as we were walking home, I was unusually filled with rage towards you.
I hadn't done anything.
I know you hadn't. I totally know you hadn't. Not
very nice.
No, it wasn't very nice. I mean, some women get that every month, so I think you're quite lucky that they haven't.
Great. I feel very lucky that you don't have rage against me every month.
You should. You can take the piss as much as you like, but you should feel lucky because you've dodged a bullet there.
I'm the machine and you've got rage. That's rage against the machine.
So I was full of rage for no apparent reason.
And we might have walked a few steps apart that night home.
Yes, it was very odd. I didn't like it.
Not sure I did.
No. And then the next day, as PJ said, after I left my dad, I phoned you on the way home and I got home and you thought that I'd taken something.
You were just like literally non-stop. I mean, you were on the phone first. You were pretty much outside the door and you were still on the phone talking to me. And I was in the middle of work and yeah. And you just literally didn't take a breath at all.
It was weird. It was like I'd taken some kind of high drug. And I was like that the whole day, basically. I managed to get an eyelash appointment at the last minute, which was amazing. And I drove to Estepona, and I normally fall asleep while she's doing my eyelashes. But not only was I not asleep, she always plays this, not my kind of thing at all, electronic house music, which normally gives me a little bit of a headache, if I'm honest. But I was visualising myself.
Age thing.
Yeah. Well, I was visualising myself dancing like an absolute queen in the middle of a nightclub on a podium to this music. And I started feeling nervous about driving home because I thought, am I... Like I felt like I was on drugs. It was really weird. And I had to sort of take a breather before I drove home. And I kept expecting there to be this massive crash, which didn't really come throughout the day.
She doesn't mean in the car. When she said that to me, I said, what do you mean you wouldn't crash? No, you meant crash as in...
Oh, yeah, body
low.
Crash. Yeah, like a come down, if you like. Anyway, we went out Friday night, had a lovely evening. We joined the Friday Frolics because it was Paul's birthday. It's actually his birthday today, but we went
Happy birthday, Paul.
Yeah, we went to Bombay Grill and had a really delicious meal, didn't we?
Yeah. So when we get a takeaway, I struggle to get through it. Or if I do push myself to get through it, I'm uncomfortably full.
Yeah.
I didn't touch the sides there.
No.
Literally.
We had some tandoori mushrooms to start.
Yeah, we even had a starter.
Yeah.
See, I wonder, when you get a takeaway, it's a certain size dish, isn't it? And when they serve it to you in the restaurant, it's on like bowls.
Yeah.
And I think the bowls might be
Slightly
smaller than the dishes.
Yeah,
I think what we should do next time is order a takeaway
and then
go back in and sit down and say, have we got any plates? And we'll get more food.
I'm not sure we needed more food.
That's true.
It was perfect as it was.
And we went home via the Hogan stand.
Yeah, had one drink there. Yeah, lovely evening. The next day, we were a little bit delicate when we woke up initially, so that was a sort of come down of sorts.
Yeah, it's one of those things, again, because we're not drinking as much as we would have done in the past. When we do have a few glasses of wine, we feel it a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. We went to something really interesting. We went to the Pool Marbella, which is above El Corte Inglés in the centre of Marbella, to the Marbella Youth Entrepreneur Cup.
It was good fun, wasn't it?
It was really
How
good.
confident were they?
Yeah, we were watching kids ranging from the age of 16 to 18, and they'd all come up with pitches for a business. And there were 3 investors there, 3 successful business people who were collectively investing €3,000 in the person that they chose, or the team that they chose as the winner. And really impressive, the guy who they did choose as the winner, he's an 18-year-old. He's created his own fashion brand. And in his pitch, he said he's already turning over 5 figures.
Yeah, and actually his T-shirts were pretty cool, weren't they?
They were really cool. They were talking about sleeping with a young entrepreneur or
something like, help the economy, sleep with an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It's like really funny slogans and stuff. But yeah, he's doing very well. He seems to use a lot of freelancers for user-generated content, and that's how he's getting his content out there. So he was an extremely confident young man, wasn't he?
Yeah, really clever. And there was a few other ideas that seemed really good, but they were relying on the fact that they needed to build a prototype and they needed to get a patent and things like that. And without building the prototype, you never really know if it's going to work. It's just an idea at this stage. So the fact that he was already turning over money was much better.
Yeah, I think that was the thing. But what was interesting is the people that needed a patent, I think the team that were looking at these people and judging them realised that there's one group of people that the idea that they had would easily be picked off by industry leaders and they would lose out. Within like minutes of them coming off stage, lawyers were already talking to them about getting the patent together so that didn't happen. So it was quite interesting because the networking angle of it was very good as well.
Really exciting. So yeah, great to be there. You can follow the pool of talents if you've got kids that either go to school here. I mean, this kid was from Madrid, so they don't have to be here, but the event is going to be a regular thing held in Marbella. So you can follow the pool of talents on Instagram.
Talk about the one that came second, which was this
fashion bot.
Yeah,
it was the idea of you can photograph all your clothing that you have at home hanging up in your wardrobe, and it'll put together ideas. If you say, I'm going out for a ladies' lunch in Marbella, I want to wear something light and summery.
The weather's going to be blah, blah, blah. You put in as much information as you can, and the algorithm decides what the best outfit is for you based on your skin colour, on your body size, on loads of different elements.
Yeah, it sounded incredible. Really great. But again, it was all just ideas.
Yeah, they hadn't actually put it together
developed it yet. So, yeah, but fabulous idea. We've been enjoying some nice sausages from Pie Bar Estepona.
Well, you like a bit of sausage.
I bought the 3 different types that they had, which was
Cumberland, pork and leek.
and just normal pork. And the pork and leek's our favourite, isn't it?
Yes, that was actually had the most flavour. And normally Cumberland would have the most flavour, but I think it was the pork and leek.
Yeah, definitely going to get that again. We had a nice little walk this morning. We were expecting it to be a crappy day today. There was lots of rain forecast. We've had this Kalima, which makes
it still says on the app when you open it, it's got all the symbols of bright sunshine, but it says there's adverse weather, something happening. But I think it might be relating to the wind.
Okay.
It's very windy, isn't it?
Yeah, don't look at
It's
me
all
when
that
you say
sausages.
that. So we went for a nice little walk this morning along the Paseo and had a cup of coffee at Kalima.
Yes, €2.
Very good. There's a new information centre there along the Paseo in San Pedro. It's not opened yet. We're
It's
assuming
like a
it's going
pod,
to be,
isn't it? A big sort of big pod. We assume it's going to be for information. I can see a big TV in the back of it.
Maybe they're gearing up for summer.
Yeah, maybe it will be just recorded stuff. I don't know whether it will be manned. I've no idea, but it can only be good. And I also noticed that they got more toilets along there, and they're all very clean and modern.
Yeah, look
which
really
is very
nice.
good. Could hang out in the toilets.
We could.
Yeah. And the other thing that we noticed as well, and this has happened within a week. So last week, going past Exotica, there was also an Indian restaurant that never really took off. It was called
Tantra.
Yes, which is a very strange name for a restaurant, to be honest. I thought it was a massage parlour where you can get a full body massage for €50 extra. You get anyway. It didn't really sort of gel, did it? I think people maybe thought, well, you go for a curry and a bit of something else afterwards. I don't know.
Well, then it would have been more popular, surely.
But it's now changed to just Exotica as well. So they've renamed it. It's gone.
It was owned by Exotica and now they've just gone back to calling it Exotica.
Yes. So I don't think it really took off.
Another bit of news, a lot of local people or people who come here on holiday regularly will remember Sisu, which was a big hotel and pool club.
Yeah, they had a rooftop bar, didn't they? And they used to have like rooftop pool parties and stuff.
Yeah, and it was, where would you say it is? It's near
Locrimar, it's right next to Locrimar.
Locrimar, that's it.
So it's opposite Portobello. It's between Portobello and San Pedro.
Yeah, so there was a massive fire about 8 years ago or something.
Yeah, somebody died as well. It was
terrible.
A big thing.
And it's been an eyesore ever since. They haven't done anything to it.
It's burnt out shell, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks terrible. Well, apparently it's now going to be converted into the new Now Pool Club.
Yes, so it's been wrapped. So there's a big wrapping around it. So I assume, because it's a pool club, they're going to take the whole hotel and knock it down and make that whole area into a pool club.
Okay.
So what's happened with Now is that's NAO, Now Pool Club, which is in Nueva Andalucía at the moment, in the Aloha area. Apparently residents have been complaining because it gets quite lively, shall we say. It's like a proper DJ and everything, and lots of people dancing and singing and shouting. And so they're moving it to Locrimar, which is also quite residential.
Well, yeah.
But apparently I know people that live there. And when Sisu was there, they couldn't really hear Sisu. So I assume the way that they're going to put these sort of sound barriers around it is going to stop the noise really travelling too far out.
Well, I'm glad they're going to be doing something with it because it's been an eyesore for years, isn't it? I also read the Darkness into Light walk is coming up, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it this year, which will be the first time in many, many years because it's Saturday the 9th of May, which is the weekend that we're doing Ladies' Day.
Oh, that could be quite tough.
Yeah, because it's like a 6 o'clock in the morning start and I would have been on stage the night before, so I'm not sure I want to be setting my alarm the next day.
No, that's true.
And getting up and doing that. But if you are interested, Darkness into Light, there's one in Estepona, which is the one that I would normally do. There's one in Mijas Costa. And I think there might be one in Marbella. I'm not sure. But check it out online. And it's a great thing to do. You have to get up very early and you see the sunrise in your walk. It's a lovely community thing to do. And it's raising money for some big mental health charities. Couple of articles to mention from our collaborators, the Euro Weekly News. There is an indefinite air traffic control strike in Spain.
Now say that after having a drink.
Indefinite air traffic control strikes in Spain on the 17th of April, which is next Friday. It concerns 14 airports across the country. So check out if your local airport is affected, particularly if you're travelling or expecting travellers on that day. Malaga is not affected, which is great. There are lots of airports airports on the Canary Islands, as well as Seville, which is quite near us, and Jerez as well. So do make sure that doesn't affect you or your loved ones.
Do we know why?
No.
Okay.
Might have said in the article, I didn't read the whole thing. Sorry.
Bringing you all the important news.
Yes.
Or most
all the headline news.
All the most of it.
Yes.
Can't be bothered to read it, obviously.
There was one bit that I couldn't believe. Crossing the street while texting in Spain, you can now be fined €80.
When you say crossing the street, do you mean crossing the road? Or
Yes.
I think you should be fined.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it actually is extremely dangerous. And do you know what? I've done it before when I've been looking down at my phone doing something and then realise I'm halfway across the road and thinking, wow, like, did I actually look? Did I subconsciously look? Or did I just wander out into the road?
It's scary, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think it's good that you've got to stop people doing it. And if there is a fine, then that's the incentive to stop doing it. Interestingly, when you say that, I read somewhere else that there's also fines for overtaking in a tunnel. And not a lot of drivers know this. So when you're in a tunnel, okay, if it's got different lanes, you've got to keep to your lane till you come out of the tunnel. Overtaking can be a €500 fine and 6 points on your licence.
Is that every tunnel across Spain? Is that like
I believe it's a thing. You are not allowed to overtake in a tunnel.
Oh, no. I do that all the time.
They might be listening.
Oh, stop it. I've never done that. I've thought about it, but I would never do it because it's illegal.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. So now everybody knows that. Good stuff. And one more thing, Spain temperatures are to jump by up to 15 Celsius. Woohoo!
And that can be the time we do our winter-summer changeover.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, at the moment, it's actually a bit bizarre because you have a winter wardrobe and then when it gets to summer, you get all rid of all your winter stuff, put it in a bag or in a box or whatever it is and got all your summer stuff out. At the moment, I've got a bit of each.
I know. I still need the odd jumper, but I'm wearing my shorter leggings today.
Slaughter leggings?
Slaughter leggings, yes.
That's when you go out on a slaughter.
No, I've got my 3/4 lengths on. So
That's
which is
lovely,
like
they are too.
in between size.
They're very flesh-coloured, aren't they? Does look
My
like you're
flesh
sitting
is
there
not
naked.
that. That's fluorescent pink. I'd be worried if my flesh was that
When you've
colour.
been out on a sunbathing thing, that goes that colour, I'm telling you.
Fair enough. Have a great week ahead. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and follow the podcast if you haven't already. Give us a thumbs up or a 5-star review if you can, and tell all your friends and family.
And before we go, congratulations, Crystal Palace, on your 3-0 win against Fiorentina.
Yes, that too. It is goodbye from him.
And it's goodbye from her.